Hi, this is Jason with Jason's Trucking Info, and if you've never been here before, this channel is all about helping all truck drivers to become better truck drivers by giving you the information that you might need if you're someone looking to get into the trucking industry, whether you're going through school, or whether or not you've even been driving for a little bit, whether that you just got out on your own or team, or whether or not you've actually been driving for a few years. I do videos on anything I have the opportunity to do a video on, or any subject matter I can think of, and I try to interview other drivers whenever I can so that I can give you their stories, their advice, and their opinion, so I'm not just relying on my knowledge and my experiences, because no two truck drivers have had the same story. No one got started the same. Everybody has different experiences in the truck driving industry. No matter if you went to the same school, you still don't have the same story. You've made different mistakes. You've had different hard lessons, and different things come easily to different ones, and different drivers, just everybody has a different story about how they got to where they are now. And so I try to interview anybody I can so that you can learn from those people. So this video is all about teaching you where you can go apply to different schools, ways you can mass apply on the internet to multiple driving companies. Whether or not they have a school or not, they will mass apply to hundreds and tons of companies, and there's more than one site that does that on the internet. All you have to do is look up trucking schools and it'll pop up. The other thing you can do is go to gas stations and truck stops, and you'll get things like this. Truckers Connection. These are free little booklets that you can get from the doorway that have all the different companies that are looking. These are different companies that have their own schools. These are their advertisements. The best place is probably through the internet on either your phone, tablet, laptop, desktop, whatever, because everything's on the internet anymore. But this is another way you can go, word of mouth, friends, family that may already be truck drivers. And there's all kinds of. There's no way I could cover all the schools. There's hundreds of thousands of trucking companies, and a certain percentage of those have their own internal schools to teach people how to be truck drivers when you're done with a 2-3 week course, and then after you're out with a trainer for about a month, 40,000 miles or whatever it is. Every company's different, every school's different, and there's all kinds of different setups out there. There's no way I can cover them all. But what you want to do is I would suggest first trying the internet and trying to find local companies in your city and state. So when you start going to do this, after you followed, if you haven't watched the first 5 videos in this series, I'd watch those first. A lot of good suggestions in those videos about things you should do before you ever go off to truck driving school, so that you get well informed. I can't cover everything. I can't think of everything because things change in the industry all the time. The rules change all the time. The DOT is constantly changing everything, if not every year, every other year. And the schools are constantly changing the way they're doing things. One thing you might want to look out for is a lot of schools are going to just teaching how to drive automatic semis, and there's still a lot of 10 speeds, 9 speeds, 13 speeds, and 8 speeds, and so on and so forth out there at a lot of these companies, and you will be doing yourself a big disservice if you go to a company that only trains in automatic semis, because they are starting to make it so that you have to have, if you train in automatic and you don't train in a stick, in a clutch, in a manual, then you won't be certified on your license to be able to drive a stick at any point, because you haven't been trained in there. Even if you know how to do it, if you haven't passed that with the DOT, it won't be on your license. So I've heard. That's something that you're going to need to look into. Do your own research. No matter what I tell you, no matter what anybody else tells you on the internet, on YouTube, wherever, whether it's a friend or family member or some random person, some truck driver that you've talked to in a truck stop somewhere or whatever, do your own research, ask questions, look for repeating information, and try to formulate all the information together so that you can make an informed decision. There's a lot of things you need to consider when choosing a school. I've already covered this in the first 5 parts, but this is going to be repeat information, which is good because I want to drill this stuff into you guys, all right? You need to consider your health and get your health checked out before you ever go take a DOT medical examination at whatever school you're going to, because they're going to give you a medical examination. They're going to be checking your eyesight. They're going to be checking you for diabetes. They're going to be checking you for sleep apnea. They're going to be checking you for high blood pressure and any other health issues that they deem a problem. So you need to make sure that you have your health under control, and if your eyesight needs to be corrected with glasses or something, you need to make sure you get those before you ever go out to the school, because the first or second day you're there, they're going to be giving you that DOT medical examination, and you want to be able to pass the eye exam. You want to be able to, when you pee in the cup, that you can pass, that everything checks out. For everything they're checking out, they check all kinds of things. I don't even know everything that they check, but they're definitely checking for sugar in your urine, to check for signs of diabetes. They're checking for, I don't even know everything that they're checking for. Obviously drugs, because they're obviously giving you a drug test on the spot too. And depending, they might even do hair follicle tests and stuff. I don't know. That just depends on the situation, I guess. But make sure that you get your health checked out before you ever go out there. The next thing you want to worry about is any criminal background. If you've had any skirmishes with the law, or if you have anything on your driving record, on your MVR. Do you have any moving violations, speeding tickets, whatever, anything that might be red flags? You want to talk to recruiters at these companies. Call several companies. Don't do like I did and sign up with the first company that you call. Call several companies and ask a lot of questions. Try to think of as many questions. Getting you a notepad like this one, and write down as many questions as you can think of before you ever call up these companies. For one, find out, because of wherever you live in the country, okay? Wherever you live in the country, you need to find out if these companies have a school in your city and state, or if you're going to have to get bused to some other city and state, all right? And then you're going to have to find out all the details of, are you going to be put up in a hotel? Do they have their own room situation? How many people are in the room with you? What kind of meals do they provide there? What kind of things are in the area? How much money should you probably bring? How long is the school? And what do they recommend you bring? And depending on what kind of equipment you're going to be learning to drive, are you going to a school that just does drive-in or reefer? Or are you going to like something that has a lot more skills and things you're going to have to learn, such as flatbedding, which is going to mean you're going to have to learn a lot more about load securement and things of that nature? Or are you going to, and tarping and things like that? Other thing you got to worry about, if you're going to have a hazardous endorsement, which you're going to have to find out what the current steps are and processes of going about getting your hazardous endorsement. Last I knew, it was a 90-day process. You had to go get your fingerprint and background check done, wait 90 days, and then go back, and then you get whatever done, and then you got to pass the hazardous endorsement test till you can get that on your license. And last I knew, it was a 90-day process, and they pretty much make you wait the full 90 days. Then there's other endorsements such as tanker. Are you going to be driving a tanker truck? And is it going to be food grade? Are you going to be needing the hazardous endorsement for that tanker to haul chemicals, fuel, whatever? Are you going to need doubles and triples? Are you going to be working for a place that hauls doubles and triples? Are you going to need that endorsement? All sort of things. You got to find out all those little things and find out what they want you to study. Like, most generally, if you're going to be driving a big truck, you're going to need to, and you're pull a trailer, then you're going to want to study combinations, air brakes, and combination air brakes, general knowledge. Most companies want hazmat, but not all, and all that other stuff I just mentioned. You're going to want to find out all the things you're going to need to know. Is there any specialized clothing or equipment that they want you to bring with you? And all that sort of jazz. And when you go to pack, you're going to want to pack very lightly. You want to pack with the least amount of possible until you go through all the hoops. You do not want to bring everything but the kitchen sink. You want to pack as lightly as possible. Pack like you're going hiking. Okay? Act like you're going hiking, and you can only bring what you can carry on your back and your arms. And you're going to want to bring warm clothing, possibly a set of boots. You're going to want a decent pair of gloves. You're going to want to buy a motor carrier's road atlas at some point, preferably before you go to school, so you have it for school. You're going to want something to keep all the papers and stuff that they give you in. You're going to want a bag of extra clothing. You want to pack for, remember, you're going to be living out of your bags, and you're not going to see home for, possibly, you might not see home for 7 to 8 weeks, because you're going to be going to school for 2 to 3 weeks, and then you're going to be out with a driver trainer for approximately 4 weeks, depending on your situation, depending on whether or not your trainer releases you early or keeps you an extra couple of weeks, depending on how they feel about how you're doing as a driver and picking things up. So there is just so many things you're going to be learning, and so you're going to really want to do your due diligence. You want to get on the websites of multiple companies. You can look those up in these books. You can look them up on the internet. You type in trucking jobs, all kinds of crap is going to come up. You're going to get companies that are looking for experienced drivers. You're going to get companies that are looking for the newbies and have their own schools. There's all kinds of things you're going to run into, and you're going to need to be prepared and write down questions and talk to everybody that you can think of. So, all right. If you like this video, I suggest you watch, if you haven't already watched the first 5 videos in this series, I'd go back and do so. This is in a playlist, so I'd start with the playlist and watch all these videos about how to become a truck driver. Watch my interview videos, listen to other truckers about their tips and suggestions and how their stories and how they became a truck driver and their trials and tribulations. So let's hit that subscribe button below and hit that bell so that you're notified of all my upcoming videos. And please give the video a like and leave any comments or questions below, and I will get back to you. All right, and thanks very much for watching, guys, and look forward to more videos by me in the future, more interviews, more in this series of how to become a truck driver. And catch you next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.